And here we have it, gonna be spawning down onto Death Aura LE. The aura of death. That aura being, I've always assumed radiation, but could be a number of things really. In the top left-hand corner map, spawning in the top left-hand corner of the map, we do in fact have our red Zerg player coming down all the way from the land of South Korea. He is currently teamless, so team owners keep a lookout, but will be representing into the clan, I believe, here? Or clan something or another. We have Sola. TSG.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Death Aura LE, we have the Chinese Zerg player representing himself as he is teamless. It is Silky.
It's I feel incomplete, Light.
What do you mean?
After doing that intro for Solar.
Yeah, right. Oh my god. For those who may not be familiar with our cast, but we typically, we have some fun with a lot of the Chinese teams and their acronyms.
It's always 2 words and then a gaming at the end. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
Whether
beautiful.
it be Dian Lake Gaming, DLG, or Triumphant Song Gaming, TSG.
Yeah, Brave Star Gaming, it's great.
TSG.
It's beautiful. And slowly that era is coming to an end.
Yeah,
so it's a shame.
Nodding along there. At least we do have a couple of, Dragon Phoenix Gaming and Brave Star Gaming, holding on to that holding on. Also Kaisi Gaming, KZG.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise known as Team Terran, as I like to call it. Housing the likes of Innovation Time as well as Bunny. There's already 3 massive names coming down. Now let's forget about Deer though. He's a part of that.
And he is, and yeah, so far, I'm kind of curious. It's the first ZvZ of the day, and again, my eyes are on Solar. He's the kind of player who took several all the way to the ace match, and that's saying something.
It very much so is, and I don't know how many times we could really say that, but our eyes are really going to be peeled. We're going to be looking at his strategies, we're going to be looking at his form, how quick he can react to things, all that kind of stuff. So far we are seeing quite different builds coming out from both of these players. Solar opting for that quick third base, whereas Silky seems to be joining pretty hard, going straight for the Roach Warren. He's going to be completely skipping that Lingbane stage of the game, and I believe earlier in the chat channel, Solar was actually talking a little bit about how Silky has been saying he's getting a little bit of lag, so this might... I'm not too familiar with Silky, how he typically likes to play, but yeah, this may just be his response to the stuttering that I am now getting back.
Nice. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Silky does and how he goes for this all-in, this essentially 2-base all-in. He hasn't gone for a 3rd base at all, staying on 2 bases, getting that Roach Warren up and running. We've seen a couple of people incorporate Nidus with this, but could just run across the map instead.
Oh yeah, he's definitely going to be trying to, at the very least. Now, Solar did go for that, he is going for as safe of a build as he can when you go for 3 bases, right? He went for those safety Baneling nests. He's now going into his Roach tech. So I do believe he did scout that Silky is going for this as well. Isn't aware of these queens marching across the map though, and this is definitely a tell that Silky is going as all in as he possibly can.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Helping out quite a bit. It's actually a little funny to watch.
I didn't think about that, but yeah, on this map specifically, because of the speed zones, it does help with Queen specifically.
Yeah, they actually kind of walk at a similar pace as if they were on creep. So yeah, that helps quite a bit. They are about to be on the other side of the map, though, without any speed zones. Oh! I saw the surrender button pop up for a split second there. I definitely worried.
Yep, I'm setting up as we speak.
Oh, thank Christ. Well, speaking about setting up, Solar is setting up his defenses. Silky going for this, warfing a bunch of Ravagers. These are the artillery units that you want when you're about to be biling down your opponent. But for now, this is a beautiful concave coming out from Solar. Silky is trying to force his way on top of this ramp, and I don't see it working out. He is continuing to brute force this, and it's just not really working. Solar, with that +1 carapace, that helps a ton as well, and, you know, getting these queens to the other side of the map, you know, that helps a lot thanks to speed zones. But now there are no speed zones to help with this retreat, and I think Solar's just going to clinch this. Silky was so insanely committed and so all in that I don't think he even has a transition out. GG is called. Solar takes game number 1 in convincing fashion.
Okay, I may be semi-ready.
All right. Well, we're gonna be finishing off this series regardless before we do switch on over. So yeah, that's definitely gonna help. Really unfortunate that this is how we ended up having to go for, but yeah, is what it is. And we were speaking about Solar and trying to watch his form, trying to see how, you know, how he stacks up, as he was a bit of a dark horse in that recent Stay-at-Home Story Cup. That game looked convincing, like.
Yeah, that was pretty dominant. And again, like, he's kind of who I want to see going into this, especially like potentially going up against ZvZ later on in the bracket. To be fair, like, a lot could happen here. Like, we've already lost Special, we've already lost some of our Terrans. It's been kind of surprising, to be honest.
But what isn't surprising is Cure gonna be holding up that mantle. Oh, Dream as well, actually, and Bunny. Oh, but that's a TBT, so yeah, Cure taking out Rex there in the round of 16, gonna be making it to the quarterfinals, facing off against the winner of Bunny versus Dream. 2 TBTs in a row. Ouch.
Jesus.
Talk about talk about hope, or like that race hope kind of thing. Yeah, does look like we're gonna have only one Terran player in these semifinals, but we could also only have one Protoss player in these semifinals, depending on how this bracket goes. We do see ZvZ taking out Silky 2-0, Armani taking out Weite, a player from Belarus, the most woke player in this bracket, 2-0, and those two are gonna be having, those two have some history against each other, Armani and ZvZ do. At least when it comes to ESL Open Cup Asia. We do play against each other quite a bit. ZvZ usually gets the upper hand, but it's not uncommon that you see Armani take the win.
Yeah, I was about to say that Armani typically does really well in these tournaments, surprisingly so. So maybe we can see him do make another like deep run as well. I'm honestly really excited to see how he does.
I'm nodding along here. But before that, we are going to be going into our second match of this best of 3 series. I feel like we've only seen 3 maps so far tonight, Light. And yeah, I guess, you know, I'm thankful that we got to see Def Aura, at least.
Yeah, it's nice to mix things up, and now we're back to the standard maps.
Which, funnily enough, in the previous map pool, this wasn't the standard map, but we are now here in the top right-hand corner map, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Everdream, L-E, Edle, where in the top right-hand corner of the map, spawning in the top right-hand corner of the map, we do in fact have a Red Z coming down all the way from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing, what's it called? Into the Clan, but he is currently teamless, so team owners, particularly team owners who have teams that are 2 words and ends with a gaming, keep your eyes peeled. We certainly will. It is Solar. panel.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Everdream LE, we have the Chinese Zerg player representing himself. It is Silky.
Or CN Silky, if you have to differentiate. No, actually, you said the player from China, so that's enough of a difference. Never mind.
Yeah, so we do see Silky opening up pretty standard, and again, like, I'm kind of curious to see how Silky plays, because of course Silky did 2-0 time, which is insane in and of itself, so yeah.
Yeah, we can only speculate. I want to say roaches are involved somehow. Just a gut feeling.
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's hard to tell. It's hard to say what exactly transpired in that series. It did end relatively quickly, right? Like we went into creator versus special, and then they came out. So maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'd be surprised if it went to a long macro game. To be fair, I didn't get to watch the DreamHack qualifiers. I don't know if they ended up facing each other there and how they did against each other. But maybe
Time was invited.
Oh, true. Yeah, he got seeded in. Yeah.
It's Time, and I think Time was the only player invited. Maybe Nice got invited as well there. Yeah.
Yeah, I may be mixing up regions, because I think Nice and Haas were the Taiwan.
Yeah, Nice is Taiwanese. So yeah, we almost caused an issue there. But yeah, thankfully we didn't. I believe it. Maybe Cyan got invited.
Oh yeah, maybe
sure about that one. Yeah, we'll have to double check that at some point in the future. But for now, we do see both players going for three hatch before Baneling Nest. So
yeah. So far, both players have opened up pretty similarly. Both opting to go for that safety Roach Warren as well. No one's trying to be greedy and tech up like incredibly fast or get an early lair or anything like that.
But just as you say that, Silky starts throwing down that lair.
Yeah, so we do have to keep an eye on the gases and see how many gases he takes from this, especially since, of course, Solar hasn't started his. He is just going on hatch tech, so this could be something like 2-base Muta, depending on the gases. Could just be for big, like, Roach timing.
I'm staring at them right now, like 2 more gases have been taken. Solar on the move to scout this.
Yeah, this was actually a really nice scout. With only 1 Ling, he gets in and he sees everything.
Yeah, didn't quite see the 3rd gas being taken, but actually that got cancelled. Okay.
Yeah, I love that. I imagine that. Okay, so Silky must have obviously saw that he got scouted, so then he cancelled, but he's taking it anyway. So I don't know. I'm very confused.
Just a mind game.
Yeah, I was about to say, what a big brain play. He cancelled a gas because he's not opting to use that, but instead he remakes it anyway, so yeah.
He's just flexing at this point, smooth as silk.
That was beautiful.
I can cancel and take another gas whenever I want. What of it? It's kind of like a gas seal, but you're sealing from yourself.
And there it is. I was kind of curious as to what he was going for, anything cheeky, and we are seeing a Nidus.
Yeah, it's something that hasn't, well, I say hasn't really fallen out of fashion, but yeah, it's definitely not as common as it used to be. As a build you throw out once in a series, though, it can absolutely bamboozle your opponent, which is why it's paramount right now for Soul to be going in with his Lings, with his Banelings. Okay, Silky does get a body block there. Ooh, a beautiful connection there for Silky. Cancels most of these Zerglings coming out from Solar. The Nidus is starting to peek its head out here, Light, and Solar has to be prepared for it.
Does he have an inkling of this? Oh, it looks like... Wow, he sees it, he spots it. It looks like the units are going to come out, though. It wasn't fast enough.
Yeah, not quite, but there doesn't seem to be too much either from Silky. Well, okay, that's a very healthy Roach count, though.
Yeah, and I love this. Solar immediately evacuates his main base, goes all the way to natural, just gives it up, and yeah, he doesn't really have too much here, just a couple of Lings.
Yeah, and now he's being forced to fight on top of this ramp. This is not at all where Lynx want to be fighting, especially not against range units like roaches. The queens are providing quite a lot of utility here. It's a battle of transfuse at the moment, and it looks like Solar might be losing that battle. Forced to pull the boys, but so far, if we do have Game Heart, it looks like we don't. Yeah, so far losing quite a bit, or not that much.
Yeah, only losing 5 workers at the same time. We had a Roach counterattack as well, and in the end, Solar holds. And we can see by the worker count, yeah, he's not that far behind the worker count of Silky.
And the army count is absolutely massive. This Nidus is about to be thrown out or taken out. Do see a transfuse at the last second there, but, you know, it's taken out in the end. And now is the time for Solar to just march across the map. He knows he's got everything he needs to really end this. Now there is an Overlord in position right now for Silky, but that's always going to be a risk that you're taking, right? As Silky, do I throw down the other Nidus and risk being defenseless at home, or do I consolidate my units? And yeah, Silky is making the right call by consolidating his forces.
Yeah, and oh my god, we can see how good Solar is of a player, right? Because he was able to hold with minimal units. He only had Lings. He immediately evacuated his main base all the way to his natural, and now we see him on the counterattack.
And here we go. Silky thought he could shoot up into worker supply or the drone count there, but now Solar is about to erase that advantage from ever coming into existence. The Zerglings are going to be able to take out this third base, and quite frankly, Light, I think Solar has way too much here. Silky, he's got +1, but he's down half the army supply, almost half the army supply, I should say, and not able to get those concaves or those positions that you want in a Roach v Roach fight.
Yeah, it's all gonna come down to this engagement here, as we do see Biles raining upon nothing. Actually, nice dodging there with the Roaches, but there's just not enough here for Silky.
No, it will not. More and more Biles gonna be canceling out these units that were about to hatch. The drones have been pulled, and they have all been taken out. This is looking like that 2-0 we were anticipating here.
Yeah, Solar just showing his dominance in this matchup, biling down so many eggs. It's amazing to see, and with the flood of Lings, he's able to clean up. All the Roaches go down.
GG. And I guess that may or may not answer our questions here, Light. How has Solar been looking like? Pretty dominant, pretty clean and up there.
Yeah, pretty on point. That was extremely well done by Solar. Again, kind of expected, and he does advance to the quarterfinals.